Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Adam, and today we're talking about something that affects all of us: high utility bills. If you've ever opened your bill and thought, why is it so expensive? You're not alone. But don't worry, we've got you covered. In this episode, we're sharing simple and effective hacks to cut your electricity, heating, and water costs without making big sacrifices.
And I'm Sophia. Managing energy bills can feel tricky, but it doesn't have to be. We'll break it down into easy steps, starting with small changes you can make today and moving into long-term strategies that save big. By the end, you'll know exactly how to take control of your bills and make your home more efficient.
That's right. And stick around until the end because we'll share some bonus tips that are super easy to try and can make a real difference. Ready to get started? Let's jump in and learn how to save money and energy at the same time.
Let's do it. First, let's talk about where most of your energy is actually being used. You might be surprised.
All right, let's kick things off by talking about why saving energy is so important. Now, when most people think about saving energy, their first thought is probably about cutting costs, and that's a big part of it. But it's not the whole story. Let me hit you with some numbers. Did you know that heating and cooling your home account for nearly 50% of the average household's energy consumption? That means every degree on your thermostat or every draft you seal could make a noticeable difference on your bill.
Exactly, Adam. But it's not just about the money, though that's definitely a huge motivator. It's also about the impact on our environment. Every kilowatt hour of electricity saved reduces the strain on power plants, many of which still rely on fossil fuels like coal or natural gas. By using less energy, you're directly contributing to reducing greenhouse gas emissions. It's like you're playing a small but meaningful role in slowing down climate change. And let's face it, every little bit counts when it comes to protecting our planet for future generations.
That's such a great point, Sophia. And you know what really surprised me? The amount of energy we waste without even realizing it. Studies show that the average home wastes about 20% of the energy it consumes. Think about that. 1/5 of your energy bill is essentially money you're throwing away. Whether it's through leaky windows, inefficient appliances, or just bad habits, there's so much room for improvement. And the best part? Fixing these issues doesn't always require a lot of money or effort.
Absolutely. And when you make your home more energy efficient, you're not just saving money, you're actually improving your quality of life. For example, sealing up drafts or adding insulation doesn't just cut heating costs, it also makes your home more comfortable. No more sitting by the window and feeling a chilly breeze in the winter. And the same goes for summer. Keeping the cool air inside makes a huge difference in how comfortable your space feels.
And let's not forget, energy efficiency also adds value to your home. If you're a homeowner, investing in things like better insulation, energy-efficient windows, or even smart thermostats can actually increase your property's value. Buyers today are much more interested in homes that will save them money in the long run. So think of it as an investment in your future.
Another thing to keep in mind is how small, consistent changes can lead to big savings over time. Turning off lights when you leave a room, unplugging devices that aren't in use, or switching to energy-efficient appliances might seem minor, but they really do add up. And once you start seeing the results, lower bills, a more comfortable home, it becomes a positive cycle. You save money, which motivates you to do more.
That's what I love about this topic. It's not about making drastic sacrifices or living in discomfort. It's about smarter habits and smarter choices. For example, did you know that simply adjusting your thermostat by 1 degree can save you 1 to 3% on your energy bill? Imagine the impact of a few small adjustments like that throughout your home.
And it's not just homeowners who can benefit. Renters, too, can make changes that help reduce energy waste. Simple things like using draft stoppers, energy-efficient light bulbs, and power strips for appliances can make a big difference. So, no matter where you live or what your budget is, there's something you can do to save energy.
And I think that's the real takeaway here. Saving energy is for everyone. It's good for your wallet, it's good for the planet, and it's good for your comfort. It's one of those rare win-win-win situations. Plus, with energy costs rising in many areas, it's becoming more important than ever to be proactive.
Exactly. And the best part is, you don't have to do it all at once. Even starting with 1 or 2 changes can make a noticeable difference. It's all about building momentum and making smarter choices over time. So, saving energy isn't just a goal. It's a journey that benefits you in so many ways.
And that's why we're so excited about today's episode. We're not just talking about theory, we're giving you actionable steps that you can start using right away. By the time we're done, you'll have a toolkit of energy-saving strategies to help you slash those bills and make your home more efficient. All right, now that we understand why saving energy is so important, let's get into some quick wins. Simple changes you can make today to start saving energy and money immediately. The beauty of these tips is that they don't require a lot of time, effort, or investment. You can literally start doing them as soon as this podcast ends, or even while listening.
That's right, Adam. Let's start with one of the easiest and most overlooked tips: switching off lights and appliances when you're not using them. I know it sounds obvious, but how many times have you left a room and forgotten to turn off the lights? Or left your TV running in the background? By simply being more mindful, you could save a noticeable amount on your energy bill every month.
And let's talk about something we all have: chargers. Did you know that leaving phone and laptop chargers plugged in when they're not in use still draws energy? It's called phantom energy, and while it might not seem like much, it adds up over time. The quick win here? Unplug your chargers when you're not using them or invest in a power strip with an on-off switch. That way, you can cut the power to multiple devices with just one click.
Here's another one. Switch to LED light bulbs. If you're still using old incandescent or even CFL bulbs, you're spending way more on lighting than you need to. LED bulbs use up to 75% less energy and last significantly longer. It's such an easy swap, and the savings start immediately. Plus, LEDs come in a variety of color temperatures now, so you can get the warm or cool lighting you prefer.
Another tip that's super simple: adjusting your thermostat. Lowering the temperature by just 1 degree in the winter, or raising it by 1 degree in the summer, can save you 1 to 3% on your energy bill. It's such a small change that you probably won't even notice it, but your wallet definitely will.
And if you want to take it a step further, consider using a programmable thermostat. Set it to automatically adjust the temperature when you're asleep or out of the house. For example, you don't need your home as warm when you're snuggled under blankets at night or as cool when you're at work during the day. It's an easy way to save energy without any extra effort.
Speaking of easy changes, let's talk about your water heater. Did you know that most water heaters are set at 140 degrees Fahrenheit by default? That's hotter than you need for most household tasks. By lowering it to 120 degrees, you can save energy and reduce the risk of scalding, especially if you have kids at home.
And don't forget about those ceiling fans. Many people don't realize that ceiling fans have a switch to reverse the direction of the blades. In the summer, the blades should rotate counterclockwise to push cool air down, and in the winter, they should go clockwise to pull warm air up and circulate it around the room. It's a small tweak that can make your heating and cooling systems much more efficient.
One last quick win: clean or replace your HVAC filters regularly. Dirty filters make your system work harder, which uses more energy and drives up your bill. Check your filters once a month, especially during peak seasons, and replace them as needed. Trust me, your system and your energy bill will thank you.
These are all such simple changes, but together, they can make a huge difference over time. The best part? You don't need to invest a lot of money or time to get started. Just pick 1 or 2 of these tips and try them out. You'll start seeing results almost immediately.
Exactly. Energy efficiency doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes the easiest solutions are the most effective. And when you start saving money, it's a great motivation to keep going and look for even more ways to cut down on energy use. All right, let's dive into one of the biggest energy consumers in your home: heating and cooling. As I mentioned earlier, your HVAC system can account for nearly half of your energy bill, so improving its efficiency is one of the best ways to save both energy and money. Let's talk about some smart, practical ways to make sure your home stays comfortable without the sky-high bills.
Exactly, Adam. And the first thing to focus on is your thermostat. Many people don't realize how much of a difference a small adjustment can make. If you can, set your thermostat to 68 degrees Fahrenheit during the winter when you're home, and in the summer, keep it around 78 degrees Fahrenheit. It doesn't seem like much, but those few degrees can lead to significant savings. Typically 1 to 3% for every degree you adjust. And of course, turning it down or up when you're not home or asleep can make a big difference too.
Right. And, Sophia, you mentioned something key: using a programmable thermostat. This is one of those changes that really pays off. Instead of constantly adjusting the temperature manually, a programmable thermostat automatically lowers or raises the temperature at certain times of the day, like when you're away at work or sleeping. In fact, studies show that you can save up to 10% a year on your heating and cooling bills just by setting your thermostat 7 to 10 degrees lower in the winter or higher in the summer for 8 hours a day.
That's a big savings, and the best part is you don't have to remember to adjust it yourself. Plus, some of the newer models even let you control the temperature with your phone, so if you forget to set it before you leave the house, you can do it remotely.
Now, let's talk about your home's insulation. It's a huge factor in how efficiently your heating and cooling systems work. If your home isn't properly insulated, you're essentially throwing money away by letting all that warm or cool air escape. A well-insulated home will stay warmer in winter and cooler in summer without overworking your HVAC system.
That's a great point. One area people often overlook is their windows. If your windows are old or have gaps, it's like your home's heating and cooling are leaking right out the window, literally. Adding weather stripping or even replacing old windows with energy-efficient ones can make a huge difference. And if replacing windows isn't in the budget, thick curtains or window film can help keep the temperature stable inside without much cost.
Another simple fix: using ceiling fans. Many people don't realize that ceiling fans aren't just for the summer. In the winter, you can reverse the direction of the fan blades to help circulate warm air. The fan will push the warm air from your heater back down into the room, so you feel warmer without turning up the thermostat. It's such an easy, low-cost solution, and it can make a big difference.
Exactly. And while we're on the topic of fans, don't forget about the importance of keeping your vents and ducts clear. Blocked vents or clogged ducts reduce airflow, which means your system has to work harder to heat or cool your home. Make sure your vents are open and unobstructed, and clean the ducts and vents every few months to keep things running smoothly.
And, believe it or not, your furnace or air conditioner needs regular maintenance too. Changing filters is important, but scheduling a tune-up once a year, before the season changes, can keep your system running at peak efficiency. A quick inspection by a professional can catch small issues before they become expensive repairs and help your system run more efficiently overall.
Regular maintenance is key. Even simple things like making sure your outdoor AC unit is clear of debris, like leaves or dirt, can help it run more effectively. Just like cleaning your air filter, it's a small effort that has big results.
Absolutely. And before we wrap up this segment, one final tip: check your home's insulation, especially in the attic and crawl spaces. These areas can easily be neglected, but they're critical to keeping your heating and cooling costs down. Adding insulation to your attic, sealing cracks around windows and doors, and insulating pipes can all improve the overall energy efficiency of your home.
All of these changes combined can really transform your home's energy efficiency. Heating and cooling account for such a large portion of your energy use, so making improvements here is one of the best ways to see immediate results on your bill.
And the great thing about these tips is that many of them are either low cost or even free. With just a little time and effort, you can make a noticeable difference in your energy use. And that means lower bills and a more comfortable home. Now that we've covered heating, cooling, and energy efficiency, it's time to talk about another crucial aspect of reducing utility bills: water usage. You might not realize it, but how much water you use is directly tied to how much energy you consume. Why? Because a significant portion of your utility bills comes from heating water for things like showers, dishwashing, and laundry. By reducing your water usage, you're also reducing the amount of energy it takes to heat that water. So, let's dive into some practical steps you can take to cut down on water usage in your home and ultimately lower your energy bills.
Exactly, Adam. And one of the easiest places to start is in the bathroom. The average shower uses around 2.1 gallons of water per minute, and most people take showers that last 8 to 10 minutes. So if you've got a typical shower head, that can add up to 20 to 25 gallons of water for just one shower. But here's the good news. You don't need to sacrifice comfort to reduce water consumption. By installing a low-flow shower head, you can cut that amount in half. Modern low-flow shower heads use as little as 1.5 gallons per minute while still providing great pressure, and you can easily find one for less than $20.
Right. And the cool thing about low-flow shower heads is that you don't even notice a difference in your shower experience. You still get the same refreshing shower, but you're using a lot less water, and that translates to savings on your energy bill over time. Plus, this is a one-time investment that continues saving you money for years.
Exactly. And while we're talking about the bathroom, let's not forget about the toilet. Older toilets can be some of the biggest water wasters in your home, using up to 5 gallons per flush. That's a lot of water, especially if you have a family and everyone's flushing multiple times a day. The good news is, there are now high-efficiency toilets that use about 1.6 gallons per flush, which can save you hundreds of gallons of water per year. If you're not ready to upgrade your toilet yet, there's a quick fix. Place a plastic bottle or a bag filled with water in the tank. This displaces water, reducing the amount used per flush without compromising performance.
Yes, that's such a simple trick, but it works. And it's free. But if you're in the market for a new toilet, going for the low-flow models is definitely worth considering. A typical family of 4 can save around 16,000 gallons of water a year just by switching to a high-efficiency toilet. That's not just a win for your water bill, but also for the environment.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about the kitchen. Most people don't realize that the kitchen is another place where water usage can get out of hand. A big culprit here is washing dishes. If you're still washing dishes by hand, you could be wasting a lot more water than you think. Running the tap continuously while you scrub and rinse can waste a lot of water, even if you're washing just a few dishes. The solution here is to use your dishwasher instead. Modern dishwashers use a lot less water than hand washing, especially if you're running a full load.
That's a great point, Sophia. Dishwashers are actually designed to use much less water, usually between 3 to 5 gallons per load, compared to up to 20 gallons of water when hand washing a full sink of dishes. The key is to only run your dishwasher when it's full and use the eco-cycle option if it has one. This simple shift could save you both water and energy, not to mention the time you save by letting the dishwasher do the work.
Another tip in the kitchen is to avoid letting the faucet run while washing your hands or prepping food. Instead, use a bowl of water to rinse vegetables or fruits and turn off the tap while scrubbing them. Every little adjustment like this can add up over the course of a week or month.
Speaking of saving water in the kitchen, we should also mention the water heater. Most people don't realize that water heaters are often set higher than necessary, meaning you're paying to heat water you don't even need. Most homes have their water heaters set at 140 degrees Fahrenheit by default, but you can lower that to 120 degrees Fahrenheit without any noticeable difference in your comfort. This change will not only reduce your energy consumption by preventing the heater from working overtime, but it also reduces the risk of scalding, and lowering the temperature will help your water heater last longer too.
Right. That small change can make a big difference in both your utility bills and your safety. Plus, don't forget to insulate your water heater and the pipes leading to it. Insulation helps maintain the water temperature, so the heater doesn't have to work as hard to keep the water hot. It's a low-cost upgrade that really pays off in the long run.
And this might sound small, but it's important. Fix leaks as soon as you notice them. A single dripping faucet can waste up to 3,000 gallons of water per year. Think about that for a second. 3,000 gallons of water you're paying to heat for no reason. Plus, small leaks can turn into bigger problems if left unchecked, costing you even more down the road.
Absolutely, Adam. Leaky faucets, showers, or even a running toilet are easy to ignore, but fixing them is one of the most cost-effective ways to cut down on water usage. And don't forget about your garden hose or sprinkler system. If you have sprinklers running too long or hoses left on, that water can really add up quickly. Make sure your sprinklers are set on a timer and only water your lawn when necessary. You don't need to water every day unless the weather is extremely dry.
Great advice. And don't forget to check for leaks outside too. Sometimes small leaks in irrigation systems or garden hoses can go unnoticed, but they're wasting water and your money. By making sure everything is in good working order, you can save a ton of water and energy.
Let's also talk about laundry for a minute. One simple trick to save both water and energy is to wash your clothes with cold water instead of hot. Many modern detergents work just as well in cold water, so there's no need to use hot water for your laundry unless it's absolutely necessary. Plus, cold water is gentler on fabrics, which helps your clothes last longer.
That's a really easy switch, and it doesn't require any extra effort. Just remember to only run full loads when you do laundry. A washing machine uses nearly the same amount of water whether you fill it up or not, so it's always more efficient to run a full load instead of smaller loads.
So, as you can see, reducing water usage doesn't mean making huge sacrifices. It's all about being more mindful and making a few simple changes. From switching to low-flow shower heads and toilets to fixing leaks, adjusting your water heater, and using appliances more efficiently, every little change adds up. These tips will save you money, reduce your energy consumption, and help conserve water, something that benefits all of us.
Exactly. And with all these changes, you're not just lowering your water bill, but you're also making a positive impact on the environment. We can all do our part in conserving water and energy. These adjustments might seem small, but when you put them together, the savings are significant. All right, now let's talk about another area that can make a big difference in your energy consumption: your household appliances. Whether it's your refrigerator, washer, dryer, or microwave, appliances can account for a significant portion of your utility bills. But the good news is, there are tons of ways to maximize their efficiency, so you get the most out of them while keeping your energy costs down.
Exactly. And the first appliance we should talk about is the refrigerator. It's one of the most energy-hungry appliances in your home, running 24/7 to keep your food cold. But there are simple ways to make it more efficient. First, make sure your fridge is set at the right temperature, around 37 degrees Fahrenheit for the fridge and 0 degrees Fahrenheit for the freezer. If it's set too cold, you're wasting energy, and if it's too warm, you risk spoiling your food.
Right. And don't forget about the seals around the fridge doors. If the door seals are cracked or damaged, cool air can leak out, making your fridge work harder to maintain the right temperature. You can easily check the seals by closing the door on a piece of paper. If the paper slides out without resistance, it's time to replace the seals.
Another simple thing to keep in mind is how full your fridge is. A well-stocked fridge doesn't have to work as hard to stay cool, but don't overcrowd it. Allow air to circulate properly. And remember, your freezer can be more energy efficient when it's at least 3/4 full, so it retains cold better. If you don't have enough frozen food to fill it, you can use ice packs to take up space.
Good tips, Sophia. And when it comes to using other kitchen appliances, like your oven and microwave, it's all about being smart with your usage. For example, when using your oven, avoid opening the door too often to check on your food. Every time you do, heat escapes, and it can take longer for your food to cook. Try to use the microwave when you can. It's way more energy efficient for reheating small portions of food.
Definitely. And when you do need to use the oven, try to cook multiple items at once. If you're already heating up the oven, why not cook a few things at the same time? Also, consider using a toaster oven for smaller meals or baking tasks. They use less energy than a traditional oven, especially for smaller dishes.
That's such a great point. The key with any appliance is to make sure you're using them in the most efficient way possible. Now let's talk about the washing machine and dryer, which can also eat up a lot of energy. One of the best ways to maximize their efficiency is by washing clothes in cold water whenever possible. Many detergents are designed to work just as well in cold water as they do in hot water, so there's no need to heat up water if you don't have to.
Right, Adam. Another tip for your washing machine is to make sure you're running full loads. It's the same concept as the dishwasher. Running a half load doesn't save you any energy or water. And when you can, use the eco mode on your washing machine, as it uses less water and energy to clean your clothes.
Exactly. And when it comes to your dryer, there are a few ways you can reduce energy consumption. First, try to clean the lint trap after every load. A clogged lint trap reduces airflow, making your dryer work harder and use more energy. Also, when possible, dry clothes on a clothesline or drying rack. It's free, and it's a great way to save energy, especially in warm weather.
And if you're using the dryer, make sure you're not overloading it. Overloading can prevent the clothes from drying properly, and that means you'll have to run another cycle, which wastes more energy. And remember, if you're drying smaller loads, you can use a lower heat setting to save energy while still getting your clothes dry.
Another great tip for the dryer: use dryer balls. These are inexpensive and they work by separating the clothes and allowing hot air to circulate more effectively. This helps your clothes dry faster so you use less energy.
That's a smart, low-cost solution that really works. Now let's talk about something that's often overlooked: your water heater. While we've already discussed setting the temperature to 120 degrees Fahrenheit to save energy, there are a few other things you can do to make your water heater more efficient. First, make sure your water heater is insulated. Insulating it helps it retain heat, so it doesn't have to work as hard to keep the water hot.
Good point, Sophia. And if you have a tankless water heater, make sure it's properly maintained. Tankless water heaters are more efficient than traditional ones, but they still need regular maintenance to operate at their best. Cleaning the filters and checking for mineral buildup can ensure they continue to run efficiently for years to come.
That's so important. Regular maintenance is key to ensuring that all of your appliances are running as efficiently as possible. And, of course, if any of your appliances are old and on their last legs, it might be time to consider replacing them with newer, more energy-efficient models. While this requires an upfront investment, the long-term savings will be well worth it.
Absolutely. And when you're shopping for new appliances, look for the Energy Star label. These products meet strict efficiency guidelines, and they'll help you save on both your water and energy bills over time.
So, to summarize, whether it's optimizing how you use your fridge, washing machine, or water heater, small changes can make a big difference in maximizing appliance efficiency. The key is to stay mindful of how you're using your appliances and to perform regular maintenance to keep them running smoothly. And if you're in the market for new appliances, prioritize energy-efficient models, as they'll save you money in the long run.
Exactly. Maximizing appliance efficiency doesn't require a complete overhaul of your lifestyle. It's all about making smarter choices, maintaining your appliances, and being mindful of how you use them every day. These small adjustments can add up to huge savings, both in energy and in your utility bills. All right, now we're diving into something really exciting: investing in long-term energy savings. At this point, we've covered a lot of quick wins, like turning off lights, upgrading appliances, and making small changes to your water and energy habits. But if you really want to maximize your savings and see long-term benefits, it's time to consider bigger investments that will pay off over the years.
Exactly, Adam. These investments might require a bit more upfront money, but they're designed to save you a significant amount on your utility bills in the long run. The first area we'll look at is home insulation. You might be surprised to know that a poorly insulated home is one of the top reasons for high energy bills. When your home isn't properly insulated, heat escapes in the winter, and cool air escapes in the summer, making your heating and cooling systems work overtime.
That's right. If you live in an older home, there's a good chance that your insulation isn't as effective as it could be. The most common areas to check are the attic, walls, and floors. Adding insulation to these areas can drastically reduce the amount of energy needed to maintain a comfortable temperature in your home. In fact, according to studies, adding attic insulation can save you up to 20% on heating and cooling costs.
And it doesn't stop there. You can also insulate windows and doors. Windows are a huge culprit when it comes to energy loss, especially if they're older or single-paned. Consider investing in energy-efficient windows. These windows have special coatings that reflect heat back into the house in the winter and keep the house cooler in the summer. While the upfront cost of installing these windows can be high, the savings on energy bills will quickly make up for it over time.
That's a great point. Another long-term investment that many people overlook is a smart thermostat. A smart thermostat allows you to control your heating and cooling more efficiently by learning your patterns and adjusting the temperature when you're not home or when you're asleep. It can save you up to 10 to 15% on heating and cooling costs annually, which is a pretty solid return on investment.
Smart thermostats are definitely worth it. Plus, they're really user-friendly and you can control them remotely with an app. So if you're on vacation or at work, you can still adjust the temperature in your home to make sure you're not wasting energy. If you're replacing an old thermostat, the installation process is usually pretty easy and inexpensive, and the savings add up quickly.
Another big investment that pays off in the long run is upgrading to energy-efficient appliances. While we've already talked about using your current appliances efficiently, when the time comes to replace them, choosing energy-efficient models is a game changer. Look for appliances with the Energy Star label, which means they meet high efficiency standards and use less energy than traditional models.
Absolutely, Adam. Energy-efficient refrigerators, dishwashers, washing machines, and dryers can all help lower your utility bills. For example, an Energy Star-rated washing machine uses about 25% less energy and 33% less water than a conventional one. Over time, the savings really add up. And let's not forget about LED lighting. If you still have incandescent bulbs in your home, switching to LED lights is one of the simplest and most cost-effective upgrades you can make.
Yes, LED lights use at least 75% less energy than traditional incandescent bulbs, and they last 25 times longer. Imagine not having to replace your light bulbs for over 2 decades. The initial cost of LED bulbs is higher, but the energy savings over time more than make up for it. It's a classic example of a small upfront investment that delivers huge returns.
And speaking of lighting, another long-term investment that's gaining popularity is solar power. Installing solar panels on your roof can significantly reduce your electricity bills, sometimes even eliminating them entirely. Solar energy harnesses the power of the sun, which is, of course, free, and you can sell excess energy back to the grid in some areas, generating income or credit for your utility bill.
Solar panels are a big investment up front, but the return can be enormous. In many cases, homeowners see a full return on investment within 5 to 10 years, depending on where they live and how much energy they use. And with the increasing efficiency of solar technology, even homes that don't get full sunlight all day can still benefit from solar energy.
Exactly, Adam. The government also offers incentives, such as tax credits, to make the initial investment more affordable. Plus, the maintenance costs for solar panels are relatively low, making them an even more attractive long-term investment. If you're looking to lower your carbon footprint while saving money, solar is definitely something worth considering.
Now, let's talk about another option that's related to energy efficiency: home energy audits. Many utility companies offer free or low-cost home energy audits, where a professional comes to your home and assesses where you're losing energy. They'll give you specific recommendations on improvements like insulation, weatherproofing, and appliance upgrades. It's a great way to understand where your home is wasting energy and how to make it more efficient.
That's such a good point, Adam. An energy audit is like a personalized roadmap to better energy efficiency. It can help you prioritize which projects to tackle first, making sure you're getting the most savings for your investment. The audit usually includes things like checking insulation, sealing air leaks, and evaluating your heating and cooling systems. And many utilities will even offer incentives for completing energy-saving projects based on the audit's recommendations.
Exactly. And while we're talking about long-term investments, all right, so we've covered the big-ticket items like investing in energy-efficient appliances and long-term solutions like solar panels and insulation. But there's one crucial piece of the puzzle we haven't touched on yet: your habits. The truth is, even the most energy-efficient appliances won't help much if we're not using them properly or are in the habit of wasting energy. That's why tracking and adjusting your daily habits is so important. So let's dive into how we can all become more mindful of our energy consumption and make changes that stick.
Exactly. The first step is tracking your energy usage. Now, this might sound a bit daunting, but the reality is that many utility companies offer online portals or apps where you can monitor your usage on a daily, weekly, or even hourly basis. It's a great way to get an immediate picture of how much energy you're using and where you might be over-consuming.
That's right. And when you start tracking, pay attention to when your energy usage spikes. For example, do you notice a higher bill at the end of the month? Is it related to certain activities, like running the air conditioner or using your dryer more often? Identifying patterns like this can help you make targeted changes. For instance, you might realize that your laundry days are using up a lot of energy, and that could lead you to adjust your washing and drying habits.
Exactly. Once you've tracked your usage and identified where you're consuming the most energy, the next step is adjusting your habits. And it doesn't have to be overwhelming. For example, one small habit change could be turning off the lights when you leave a room, or unplugging appliances that are using power even when they're not in use, like your coffee maker, phone chargers, and even your microwave.
Such simple things, but they add up over time. Another habit to focus on is adjusting your thermostat settings. A lot of people leave their thermostat running all day, even when they're not at home. But with a smart thermostat, you can program it to adjust temperatures when you're away, or at night when you're bundled up in bed. Small temperature changes, like lowering the thermostat by a few degrees in winter or raising it a few degrees in summer, can lead to big savings without compromising comfort.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest energy drains in a home is heating and cooling, so adjusting how you use your HVAC system is key. A lot of people don't realize that simply closing the blinds or curtains during the hottest part of the day can keep your home cooler and reduce your reliance on air conditioning. In the winter, opening the curtains during the day to let in sunlight can help warm your home naturally, reducing the need for heat.
Great tip, Sophia. And when you're adjusting habits, don't forget about your laundry routine. Doing laundry in cold water and air-drying clothes, as we mentioned earlier, are habits that add up to a lot of savings. Even using a smaller load size and running your dryer on a lower heat setting can make a huge difference in energy consumption over time.
Yes, and it's also about the timing of when you use your appliances. For example, some energy providers offer off-peak rates, where electricity is cheaper during certain hours, usually at night. So if you can do laundry or run your dishwasher during off-peak hours, you'll save money while consuming the same amount of energy.
That's a great point. Timing your appliance use based on your energy provider's rates can be a game changer. And don't forget about the power of routine checks. Sometimes, habits need to be adjusted because things aren't working as efficiently as they should be. For example, regularly cleaning your refrigerator coils or checking your HVAC system's air filters can help ensure that they are running at maximum efficiency, which ultimately saves energy.
Exactly, Adam. Regular maintenance is another key habit that can keep your energy consumption in check. This is one of those areas where taking a few minutes for routine tasks, like cleaning your appliance filters, checking for leaks, or even just swapping out old light bulbs, can prevent larger, more costly issues down the road.
Another helpful tip is to take note of energy usage in certain rooms of the house. For example, if your kids' playroom lights are always on, or you find yourself using the TV as background noise in the living room, you might realize that there are opportunities to cut back. Set a rule, like turning off lights when leaving a room or using natural light more often during the day. Small actions like this become second nature over time, and they add up to big savings.
And speaking of the kids, get them involved. Teaching your children about the importance of energy conservation can help set up habits that last a lifetime. Simple things like turning off the lights, using less hot water, or switching off devices they're not using can create a household culture that values energy saving.
Absolutely. Teaching younger family members about energy conservation is an investment in the future. They can take those habits with them when they're older, and as a family, you'll all be more energy conscious, which helps reduce the overall consumption in the household.
Right, Adam. And when you start to adjust your habits, remember that consistency is key. It's not about being perfect every day, but rather about being consistent with your efforts. Over time, you'll notice how your energy bills decrease and how much more comfortable your home feels, and that will motivate you to keep going.
Exactly. The beauty of tracking and adjusting habits is that it doesn't require major investments, but the cumulative effect of small changes can have a profound impact. By staying mindful of your energy consumption and making those simple habit adjustments over time, you're not only saving money, you're also helping the environment and creating a more sustainable lifestyle.
So, whether it's turning off lights, adjusting your thermostat, or being strategic about when you use appliances, tracking and tweaking your habits is a powerful way to save money on your utility bills. And the best part is, these habits are simple to implement and can start saving you money right away.
Exactly, Sophia. And the more you track and adjust, the easier it gets to make energy saving a part of your daily routine. It becomes second nature, and your bills will thank you for it. So, let's wrap up this segment by reminding everyone that every little bit counts, and making small habit changes today can lead to big savings tomorrow. Sophia, what an incredible conversation we've had today. From quick energy-saving wins to debunking myths, seasonal adjustments, and even some fun, creative ideas, we've covered so much ground. I'm really hoping our listeners feel empowered and excited to start saving energy and cutting down on their utility bills.
Absolutely, Adam. The best part is, these aren't just ways to save money, they're ways to live more sustainably and make a positive impact on the planet. I think we've shown that saving energy doesn't have to be complicated or boring. It can be practical, fun, and something the whole family can enjoy.
Exactly, Sophia. Whether it's as simple as turning off a light, sealing a draft, or getting creative with a solar-powered project, every small step adds up. And we hope this episode has inspired our listeners to take action and start making those changes today.
That's right, Adam. And if you, our listeners, have any energy-saving tips or creative ideas of your own, we'd love to hear them. Share your thoughts with us on social media or leave us a comment. Let's keep the conversation going and learn from each other.
And if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to share it with your friends and family. Let's spread the word about these energy-saving hacks and help as many people as we can lower their bills and live sustainably. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode.
And before we go, a quick reminder, the small changes you make today can lead to big results over time. Start with what feels doable and build from there. You've got this.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Until next time, stay mindful, stay creative, and keep finding ways to make a positive impact in your home and beyond. We'll see you in the next episode.